Hello everyone. Shall we learn a little bit about Bubbles from Powerpuff Girls, the 90s version, not the reboot? Bubbles is the cutest of the Powerpuff Girls, known as the joy and the laughter. Sorry, that song is a great song. Her signature color is sky blue and she loves animals. She is the sugar of the trio. Of course she's the sugar. Oh god, is she the sugar? She's like a sugar rush, sugar cake. First appeared alongside Bubbles, Blossom and Buttercup in the Whoop-Ass-Too short, A Sticky Situation, which was made by, of course, Craig McCracken, which he made while in Cal Arts College in 1992, which he gave to Cartoon Network, who renamed it Powerpuff Girls, as Whoop-Ass Girls was inappropriate for the channel's target audience. Which, of course, makes sense. Bubbles does tend to, however, be very emotional, or over-emotional, despite having the habit to be ditzy, naive, and sensitive, leading her to sometimes be regarded as the group's weakest link by friends and foes alike. How dare you say that? She's hardcore! I'm sorry, it's a funny line to me. However, she can become very independent and aggressive, let alone extremely mad when tempered. Hardcore! As seen in Bubble Vicious. Out of all the Powerpuff Girls, she is the most feared by Mojo Jojo after having single-handedly taken him down in a fit of rage in the aforementioned episode. Hardcore! I'll stop! At one point, Bubbles gets severely hit on the head and dresses up as Mojo Jojo and fights her sisters. I remember that. And Mojo Jojo was like explaining how he doesn't talk like that, even though he was talking like that. And I cannot do Mojo Jojo. After the girls were created, the Powerpuff Girls, in the Powerpuff Girls movies, Professor Utonium named her Bubbles for her cute, bubbly, and joyful attitude, which she revealed by giggling when he named Blossom. Oh, the cutest little cutie, bubbly personality of bubbleness. She's adorable and gives you cavities just looking at her. Her best friend is Octi, a stuffed octopus given to her by the professor. Her special ingredient is sugar, and her signature color is light blue, as I stated earlier. She also told in an interview from the Powerpuff Girls movie that she was not afraid to show her emotions. She also generally shown to be very caring for her sisters and professors as well as others. As of course, like many people, she has likes and dislikes. Her likes include her sisters, Blossom and Buttercup. And if you watched my last video, which I highly recommend because I made a major flub up, okay, Blossom doesn't like Rob Schneider. It's Robin Schneider. My brain assumed Rob Schneider. Robin Schneider was the little girl from that episode that I was talking about, which deals with being best friends with the Powerpuff Girls and them always flying off and leaving away. It's Robin Schneider. I don't think Rob Schneider was even No, Rob Schneider was a phenomenon back in the 90s. Stop thinking about it. Playing with her friends, her hair. Marcia. Her hair, Blossom's hair, Octi, video games, the color blue, toys, Bebo, Professor Utonium, Pokeokes, kindergarten, chalk, crayons, drawing, coloring, learning, flowers, being cute, adorable, and childlike. Her favorite cereal, Lucky Captain Rabbit, cooking nuggets. Animals, watching cartoons, especially Tom and Jerry, her favorite. Giggling, blowing bubbles. Playgrounds, April, guessing the month again. The city of Townsville, Bath, playing dress up. Powerpuff Hotline, the professor, pop music / disco. Movies and really cool theater, as do her sisters. Tag, being acknowledged as hardcore. Okay, last one, I promise. Boomer, she finds him cute. Aww. Young love. Dislikes. Bullies, villains, cry. Animals dying. The dark, after time passed on for her to prove she's hardcore. When her sisters told her. Vegetables, one time. Spiders, oh please. Cockroaches. Liver and onions, I agree. Arguments, Townsville being grayscaled, as seen from Mime for a Taste. I loved Mime for a Taste. That's one of my favorite episodes. Sorry. The treated like a baby, the town of Citiesville, bad things happening to Octi, don't hurt Octi, cute things being stomped on, her hair getting messy, cooties, one time, silent movies, as do her sisters, bad attitude, though she can use it when it's time to use it to get business taken care of, shrimp, as do her sisters, shown in child-fearing. I'm now just remembering that episode, Child Fearing. That's the episode where Mojo Jojo is babysitting him, and he's doing, oh crap, what is it? Benihana! He's doing Benihana cooking. Being seen as weak, her feelings getting hurt. Now, she had an alter ego, as everyone remembers from Super Zeros. In Super Zeros, her alter ego heroine is Harmony Bunny! She dressed in a rabbit costume, carrying a small lunchbox with a cereal sticker roll. I remember the stickers were supposed to make you happy and not evil and not too bad. Like, I laughed about it. A bunny doll and the storm of items and her attack for presumably angry stickers. She chose this persona after reading an issue of, forgive me if you speak Japanese, Chisai Bani Bani no Kawaii Boken Monogatari. In the episode, Bubbles translates this title to The Great Fun Time Adventures of Bunny Bunny and Friends. Wouldn't it be Usagi? Oh no, Usagi is rabbit. I know a few Japanese words. Her mode of transportation is via pogo stick. I remember the pogo stick. I'm sorry. This is like, while I'm reading up on all this information about the Powerpuff Girls and doing this Powerpuff Girl art, I'm just going through like flashbacks and, nostalgia lane. I remember the pogo stick. I also remember Liberty Bell in the car and stuck in traffic, and it's just like, sorry. Okay, her special powers and abilities. She can scream really loud enough to shatter glass or buildings and stun opponents. Hey, like Black Canary. Bubbles can speak multiple languages, although the series we don't hear her speak any language other than English, Japanese, Spanish, or Squirrel. Squirrel is a very important language. Cheep, 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 cheep. Squeakity, squeak, 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 squeak. That was a reference to a thing. In the episode Eyesore, Professor Utonium states that Bubble's special ability is the ability to speak Spanish. However, as the series progresses, Bubbles' linguistic abilities appears to grow. In the episode Super Zeros, Bubbles is shown to be able to read and speak Japanese. In the episode Fuzzy Logic and Stray Bullet, Bubbles is shown to be able to speak to Squirrel. Chee 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 chee. That's what she spoke to Squirrel. Chee 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 chee. Bubbles seems to have developed a complete understanding and speaking of animal languages. She's like, Squirrel Girl! She can speak to squirrels! Go, my squirrely minions! Be free! I was so not posing funnily during that one weird, awkward, silent moment. In the episode Wreaking Havoc, Bubbles smelt the professor's chili for the chili contest, and she named the ingredients one by one without even knowing them. In the episode Los Dos Mojos, Bubbles is seen unleashing a big fury of red ball lightning all around her, causing a lot of havoc. This ability has never seen again. Bubbles may not be aware of her full capabilities, as she used this one in a confusion state of mind. The other signature abilities include Vaporiza, Electricity Ball, colored light blue, Electric Blast, and Blue Laser Beams. In short, summary of her abilities follows: light, electric forces, laser beams, superhuman strength, speed, durability, and stamina, supersonic scream, understanding and speaking of animal languages, understanding and speaking of Spanish and Japanese, and X-ray vision. Bubbles as the joy and laughter. Being the joy and laughter, Bubbles opens up to the professor by giggling in the Powerpuff Girl movie, as I stated. Bubbles has the most friends at Pokey Oaks, and even the bully Mitch. At the school show some respect to her. Such as apologizing when he accidentally erased her chalk drawings. In the episode The City of Frownsville, when Bubbles wins the award for being the happiest citizen of Townsville for the 6th year in a row. Oh boy. Bubbles inherits a very high-pitched voice along with her ditzy attitude. Most fans agree that Bubbles is the cutest of all girls, making her the joy and the laughter. I like her! I did like her as a kid. But sometimes, when I got into my more teenage angry years, my angry teenage years, which is when I started really watching Powerpuff Girls even more because of reasons. I think it's because then I finally got Cartoon Network. I think I started really not liking her because she was way too perky, and that might be why I love Buttercup so much. Anyway, weaknesses. All Powerpuff Girls have shown a complete weaknesses to flypaper. I forgot about that. I forgot about that. I'm sorry. I read that and I laughed. Sorry. Shown in the episode Stray Bullet. The Powerpuff Girls can endure extreme temperatures such as lava, but they're still vulnerable to extreme exposure of sunlight and heat, which affects them similarly to how ordinary people are affected. They get sunburned. They can handle much greater exposure than regular humans, though. They still get sunburned. Invest in aloe vera, girls. Bubble struggles to fight something that is too cute and sometimes is unable to do so, as she tends to have fondness for cute things. I have that problem too, Bubbles, don't worry. Due to Bubbles being over-emotional sometimes, she can be vulnerable to become upset easily. This causes her to seem weaker than her sisters. She's hardcore, darn it! Okay, I lied. Trivia time! Yay! Octi has been Bubbles' best friend since he was given to her by the professor. That makes sense. She was the first girl to be seen naked following the pursuit of Down and Dirty. I remember that. I mean, I don't remember her naked. I remember the episode. It's the episode where Buttercup refuses to take a bath. Bubbles emphasizes her... I think that's L's or I's. This font is really confusing. A little differently in the series. Her L's sound a little more sharper and less curved than an American curved like an American accent. It's quite noticeable when she says blossom. Oh, L. This gives her kind of a more childish feel to her voice and accent. Blossom. Bubbles makes a cameo appearance in a Chowder episode, The Heist, making her the second Powerpuff Girl character to appear in Chowder, the first being Miss Bellum. She appears because Mung ate her sugar sapphire. Tara Strong also voices Truffles, the voice actress for Bubbles. In the English version, Bubbles speaks Spanish as a second language. In the Spanish version, her second language is English. That's actually pretty good. It is mentioned in the episode Collect Her that Bubbles is a vegetarian. However, in many episodes it shows she eats meat, such as Child Fearing, where she's shown eating shrimp. It is possible that she changed her diet. Most likely, kids do that. In her interview for the movie, she denies ever crying and claims that sometimes she gets something in her eye. But yet she had no don't think about it. Bubbles was voted most popular Powerpuff favorite in the Powerpuff Girl popularity contest. I remember this contest. I remember it. I voted for Buttercup. Buttercup was robbed. In Pet Fuse, Bubbles is the only one who doesn't play with Bebo before feeding it. Yeah, Bebo is a little triple that if you eat it, it gets huge. Bubbles has a slight resemblance to Didi from Dexter's Lapping. Didi, get out of my laboratory. Get out of my laboratory. Bubbles has an X mark on the back of her head. I always noticed that. I remember when I was watching Powerpuff Girls, if it was an episode I've already seen and I know it a lot, I would sometimes play Find the X on Bubbles' head. I remember doing that when I was younger. I remember doing that. Like, okay, I've seen this episode a lot. I'm going to try to find the X on the back of Bubbles' head. I remember doing that. I remember that. I don't know what that says about me. Bubbles doesn't appear to have visible hairbands in her bunches. Well, she has to have hairbands. Come on, logic. However, yeah, 2016 has that. Yeah, no one cares about the 2016 part. That's it for Bubbles. See you next time, y'all.